If you are on the go and you must stop at a Zaxby's, here are your top 3 item combination options and your worst 3 options for your health and fitness goals. Yo guys, it's Mackenzie from SciFit, and today we are talking about eating fit on the fly. If you are on the go and you must stop at a Zaxby's, here are your top 3 item combination options and your worst 3 options for your health and fitness goals. As always, we will start with rock bottom and work our way up from there. Rock bottom option number 1 is the Buffalo Boneless Wings and Things meal. This option has 1,460 calories with a whopping 88 grams of fat, 14 grams being saturated fat, nearly 5 grams of sodium, 105 grams of carbs with 6 grams of sugar, 8 grams of fiber, and 63 grams of protein. Not only is it about half the calories you need in a day, but also half of the calories in this meal come from fat, and nearly 16% of those calories come from saturated fat.
Man, they do have a lot of saturated fat.
Great.
It's also got a little under twice the amount of carbs as it does protein. While this meal might smash your taste buds, it will also do the same to your ideal waistline dreams. Rock bottom option number 2 is the 6-piece buffalo chicken finger meal. This option has 1,320 calories with 70 grams of fat, 11 grams being saturated fat, nearly 5 grams of sodium, 106 grams of carbs with 15 grams of sugar, and 8 grams of fiber with 64 grams of protein. This option also packs a massive daily calorie punch and would likely be most of the calories needed in a day for a smaller individual. Also, like rock bottom option number 1, almost half of its calories come from fat, and it has close to the same amount of saturated fat. However, it does have a slightly better macronutrient profile, with there being more protein and less fat than the Buffalo Wings and Things meal. Although it is still likely to demolish the hopes of you getting to your goals, like rock bottom option number 1. Lastly, rock bottom option number 3 is the 5-piece boneless wings meal. This option has 1,030 calories with 60 grams of fat, 9 grams being saturated fat, just under 3 grams of sodium, 92 grams of carbs with 6 grams of sugars and 7 grams of fiber, and only 34 grams of protein. While this meal has the least amount of calories, it also has the least amount of protein of the rock bottom options.
Might help if you had a little bit more protein in your diet.
Protein! I need protein!
This meal also boasts nearly a 3-to-1 ratio of carbs to protein. Although lighter in fat, this hardly fits the bill for fit eating. Not a single one of these combinations has a positive protein to carb or protein to fat ratio. They all also contain 2 of the big 3 that we are looking to avoid. Eating meal combinations like these will require that you eat a reciprocally balanced meal later. In this case, that will be extremely hard to do. You can also just call it a cheat meal. The choice is yours. Now, let's talk about what your best 3 item combinations are. Fast and fit option number 1 is the house salad with the grilled chicken. This meal option has 560 calories with 27 grams of fat, 12 grams being saturated fat, about 1.5 grams of sodium, only 34 carbs with 5 grams of sugar and 5 grams of fiber. This meal option has nearly under half the calories of any of the rock bottom options. It also has the best macronutrient balance, even though the highest calorie contributor is fat. This could easily be lowered further by adding an extra portion of grilled chicken. It already has an almost 2-to-1 ratio of protein to fat and a limited number of sugary carbs. This option is by far the best for eating fit. Fast and fit option number 2 is the grilled Cobb salad. This meal has 680 calories with 35 grams of fat, 14 grams being saturated fat, just under 2 grams of sodium, 35 grams of carbs with 5 grams of sugar, and 5 grams of fiber with 58 grams of protein. Although this meal has more protein than the fast fit option number 1, it has a slightly higher fat content, and adding an extra grilled chicken will change the balance less than it would in the house grilled salad option. This is still a great option that can be eaten without ruining your day. Fast and fit option number 3 is 5 sauceless chicken fingers plus a side Caesar salad. This meal has 640 calories with 32 grams of fat, with 9 grams being saturated fat, about 2.5 grams of sodium, 33 grams of carbs with 2 grams of sugar, and 2 grams of fiber with 55 grams of protein. This option is nearly identical to fast fit option number 2, but just a few calories shy. It is still a great option that can be eaten without ruining your day. It's simply the last option because who's gonna order sauceless chicken fingers? It's not gonna be me. These options are the best because they are higher in protein and have a limited amount of carbs and fats. A lot of the meals offered will blow your whole day from a carbs and fat standpoint. It's hard to eat fit at Zaxby's, but it is doable. You must be very careful about your selections, substitutions, and additions. Remember, when we are eating on the go, it's about 2 things: prioritizing protein and avoiding the big 3: sugar, saturated fat, and anything fried. Now you know how to eat fit on the fly.